What's up, everybody? Welcome to the nation. This is Var hanging out here with you guys. Hopefully, you're hearing me this time. And we have got a special, it's a little bit of a special tonight. For the first time on Var Nation, outside of having Light on the show, we're having a special guest on here in the form of Vanguard Superman, who's a friend of ours. A friend of our leagues, and really cool all around guy, and he's got a base that we both want to show you guys. It's going to be really fun, and I'm going to invite him right now to the chat, and then we're going to go ahead and get this party started. So basically, we're going to walk you through his base, and we're going to show you all the cool stuff and the way that he's got everything set up. And I heard a little bit of something there. You there?
I'm here. I'm just trying not to breathe too loudly.
Oh, you're good. I got your message about the mic. No worries. Basically what I can do here is I'll just turn you down just a little bit. And I'm not hearing any kind of a horrible echo right now or anything, so you should be fine.
I've got my mic tied around my head. Very jerry-rig fashion. It's not pretty, but thank goodness no face cam.
Yeah, well, I feel you, because basically for the past couple of months, I have been using my headset with black duct tape holding it together. So I feel your pain. I broke it being stupid. I just dropped it on the floor, and the right side just snapped. Where the earpiece part just snapped where it connects, and I was like, oh God. At no point in time am I going to have enough money to fix this thing. So duct tape, here we go, and it's been holding up, thank God. I've had to redo it a couple of times. So,
yeah,
but
mine is a strong case of I have dog, and dog got spooked at something, and my mic is actually USB wired in. It's not wireless.
Oh.
So she tripped on it, and then mic went slamming against a wall, and it kind of broke off the actual headset piece. So I can't wrap this thing around my head.
Oh God.
All right, and this is gonna be a problem. Cammy, quit crying.
Oh.
I hate doing this. I might have to lock her up so she doesn't bark so much or whatever.
That's all right. We got you'll hear Bodie in the background. You'll hear Lyda making all kinds of noise. They're in here watching Teen Titans Go, and it tends to get out of control when that's going on.
But actually, that's actually a fun show.
I love it. We've been watching the crap out of it, and I didn't think I was going to like it. I was one of those people, like when the Teen Titans cartoon first came out, I was a little skeptical of it, and then I started really loving it as it went on. Same thing with this. It's just been, I mean, I can't watch anything for a half an hour and laugh as hard as I do when I watch the show. It's just hilarious. So I'm going to try and find your base here real quick. And what we're doing here for the viewers, because we won't necessarily have a lot of people watching the stream, but after the fact it goes up on YouTube, and so that way we'll give kind of an intro of what we're doing. This is Vanguard Superman. I always want to call you Crimson, but we longtime friend of the league. Very cool guy, and he's got a super awesomely decorated base, and so I titled this stream Pimpin' That Base with Vanguard Superman. We're going to come over to his base, and we're going to check out all the cool stuff that he's done, and he's going to walk us through kind of what he put into it. You're going to see some things that aren't natural. I mean, in the sense that you can't just get these base items. He's put base items together to create certain looks, and it's just really phenomenal. So I'm going to get... and this is one thing that irks me about going to someone's base. I wish you could just type in the name, because you're at the bottom with the V. There we go.
What irks me is that they don't put it in alphabetical order.
Well, yeah. It seems to have no rhyme or reason to it. So here we are. He's Vanguard Superman doing a bit of reading. We just popped in all unannounced. We didn't knock on the door or anything. It was kind of awkward.
Oh, that's fine. My super hearing heard you coming.
Oh, nice. So, and Vanguard is, if we want to get all goofy about it, Vanguard is kind of like my uncle, I guess. If you look at the family tree of Superman, I'm named after your grandpa. So on your mom's side. So he's in charge of me, but I don't act like that because, I'm Rockvar. But So let's start. Wow. Where do we want to start here? I'm going to follow you around and just kind of show off. The name of the base probably is a good place to start. I didn't go into it.
Right. Well, as with anything in DC Universe Online, most stuff is copyrighted. You cannot have the simplicity of calling yourself Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. Like myself and other players, if you wish to use an iconic name, you have to add either special characters or just be creative in adding extra things to it, such as like exclamation points, other characters, so on and so forth. Well, it turns out the name Fortress of Solitude itself was already taken and copyrighted, so you couldn't reuse it unless you perhaps did what I did. Instead of leaving spaces, I actually just made everything all one word, capitalizing in the right spots. However, instead of calling it the Fortress of Solitude, I decided to call it something different, and it is my Fortress of Salvation.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that annoyed me when I went to make bases. I ended up just calling one of them FOS. I was like, seriously, we can't have the Fortress of Solitude? But, you know, it is. I understand copyrights and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So.
Well, before we begin, as far as the design, the fortress itself has gone through a multitude of makeovers and reshapings. At times, this area you see before you was actually once a living space, and all the more interesting stuff was in the back. And as times progressed, it has switched out vice versa. Now, a common trait among many players that are very Superman-oriented is they like to make their bases look like the Fortress of Solitude, very much so in design like the way we've seen it in the classic films of the Richard Donner make.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves and the Brandon Routh, where you just see ice and snow and everything covering everything. That's good and fine, and it does kind of help for the nostalgia. However, I've been reading DC Comics for quite some time now, and recently DC Comics did an event called Rebirth. Well, what they ended up doing was they allowed it to where there were two different Supermen acting at the same time, one of which was the New 52 version that was introduced back in 2011, which the suit you see me wearing is referred to as the Stalwart Defender, which is actually the Superman suit of the New 52 era. And then they brought back the Superman pre-Flashpoint era, the Superman that's been around roughly since the remake of DC's universe itself, since the Crisis of 1985.
Right.
They brought him in along with his wife and his newborn son into the modern DC continuity. Now, what makes things interesting is that, as you know, with Superman's anything revolves around sunstone crystals. These crystals help grow the fortress and all technology from therein. When the pre-Flashpoint Superman got reintroduced to the modern universe, instead of having that birthright at the availability, he actually had to go about hand-building his entirely brand new fortress. And that really took me back in the fact that not only it proves again that Superman is not just an alien, he's also extremely smart and very self-capable of doing specific feats. And if you ever go back and read the comics of Superman, Lois, and Clark, there were about 8 or 9 issues, you get to see that fortress and how it's designed. It is not completely head-to-toe ice, but it actually has metallic structures with, you know, a gardening atrium, crystalline structures for like family resemblances, floating robots that look exactly like the Kryptonian droids of old. So in a sense, I redesigned my base for the very last time in homage to that personification of actually self-creating rather than let it be created for him.
Nice. Well, that's cool. Hence all the plush greenery and everything that we're seeing around here.
Yes, this area at best is what I'd like to describe as my fortress's atrium. It's the agricultural center, hydroponics center, and overall a spacing for as more things come along, such as NPC characters that can roam about. As you know, since
ooh, I see something back there right now.
Yes, that's Petey the Penguin. Petey, well, the Penguin and the Pingbot were both made available, I think, during last year's Christmas event, much like the Teakle Totem Cat, which I put away because he'll ruin everything when you step in.
Yeah, he'll attack me. I don't like that.
He came along in October. So as more things become available, I want to put them in here and kind of treat this like the way Superman has his his intergalactic zoo where just animals roam about. And this is a good area for it because, as you can see right over here, we have a Starro hatchery.
Oh, nice.
And anyone who knows anything about these guys is they're, you know, pretty much not anything positive as far as DC lore.
Yeah.
But the character Superman being who he is, he doesn't believe in taking lives, so better to preserve rather than to destroy.
Yeah.
Now, as you'll see here, there's these 2 columns set up dead center of this room. I've done everything I can to cover them with as much greenery as possible, make them look like trees. And you can see here this little bridge area that I created.
Oh, that's cool.
It was very simplistic in design. All I needed was 2 water puddles to fill in where I needed them to be, and enough grass and stone mass patches that you see around to create the
Oh my.
landscape. And then this is just a simple rubber floor mat with 2 spiked railings to make it look like a faux bridge.
Oh.
It worked out beautifully in design.
It did. Look at the those water puddles. Aren't those typically just huge and round?
They're more like ink blots.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, they don't have like that nice circular field. I mean, they kind of look. I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe it.
You did it really well. The ink blot. That's almost exactly what it is.
Right. It's a beautiful mess, and once you know how to tame that mess, it makes things a bit easier.
Yeah. You did a real good job squaring those up, and they look really cool.
Oh, thank you. It took a lot of tinkering. Moving forward, as you can see here, these are artifacts during the Halls of Power DLC. I put them behind a divider of glass and such with the Kryptonian glyph above. If my memory serves correctly, that says Kandor Market.
I believe you're right.
I think so.
I read fluent Kryptonian. Not really, but I've written it.
I hate admitting to it, but I actually can read it.
I used to back in the days of Smallville. I spent many an hour on Krypton site trying to be a brainiac and talk in Kryptonese or what have you. And
if you asked me to speak it, I'd probably end up hurting my tongue. I couldn't speak it to save my life. But
yeah, me neither.
In modern adaptations, especially in comics, sometimes the Superman text actually gets read in Kryptonian. If you don't know how to read that, you're left scratching your head.
Yeah.
But I remember years back during the Batman-Superman crossover event called Batman Superman Supergirl, which was later created into a DC animated movie, Batman Superman Apocalypse.
Yeah.
They brought in the new version of Supergirl, and at the back of the book, if you got the hardback thing, they actually had a Kryptonian glyph decoder alphabet.
Oh yeah.
So I wrote that. Yeah, so I took that and I wrote it on a note card and forced myself to memorize it as much as possible. So usually I can decipher phrases if it's ever written in Kryptonese.
That's cool. Yeah, it's good to know when they throw those things out there. Like, is that really what it is or not? I remember getting that, and of course, Lyda and I, we had to write all kinds of love notes to each other and that kind of that cute stuff. That everybody just went. So, and I.
Hey, look, love has no boundaries, and if you can actually make anything look fun, then go for it.
That's true.
But, yeah.
We're working on.
I'm sorry.
Oh no worries. I was going to say we're working on a tattoo wedding ring for me. We, of course, we've been married a long time now, but I just can't wear a ring. My wedding ring actually has the Batman Superman logo on it, and
Gotcha.
I'm not a ring wearer, and I do a lot of typing and stuff, and so I was like, man, you know what would be cool is if we just went and got a kick-ass wedding band tattoo. And so she pulled up a whole bunch of Wonder Woman and Superman emblems kind of thrown together, and we're trying to decide on how that's going to work. I bet that's going to hurt like hell, though, on the finger.
I think after the first few seconds, your finger goes numb.
Yeah.
Now, professionally speaking, I know that a lot of businesses where you work with hardware and a lot of machinery, they don't want you wearing jewelry on the fingers and on the wrists, and so a lot of men will actually sit there and get that tattoo, wedding band on their finger. That way it's still there, even if it's not.
Nice.
But anyway, if you're ready, we can.
Oh yeah, anytime, man. We can. I'm giving you the whole hour because I got nothing else to do. Lyda keeps me on a strict schedule here, so I figure we'll just hang out with you for the hour, and hopefully, if somebody, we got a couple people.
It'll take a whole hour.
Yeah, well, we got a couple people watching right now, and hopefully we don't have a mishap like last time. I went through about 40 minutes of a stream talking about my Earth rotation and loadout, and my mic was off. But it wasn't off. I could hear myself. It just wasn't connected right to the PlayStation.
Well, I mean, you know what happens when you do that. The next thing to do is, okay, whenever you do that, just put some music over that like everyone else does on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just perfectly acceptable.
That's right. Oh, looky here.
The next area right here is I'd like to call Petey's Pen. It's pretty simplistic in design. Like, you can see that little water puddle over there where he can just come and go as he pleases.
Yeah, and he's splashing in it. Looked like anyway.
Well, they designed him to do all kinds of weird tricks, and then he'll, do whatever he wishes. Matter of fact, if we stand back and I break this cage open, Petey will most likely run over and dance for me.
Oh,
Let's
no
see
shit.
what happens.
Cool.
Oh, yeah,
Come on, Petey.
Petey, come say hi.
Hey, buddy. Aw, sweet little guy. I don't have anything I don't even know what penguins eat. Fish? I don't have any fish on me, bro.
Probably That's all right. I bet if I went back in decorator mode and came back, he'd probably pull that stunt. Either that, I've been in here too long, so it doesn't matter. All right, so moving on to the next area. For anyone who is like big fans of the Richard Donner series,
Yeah.
something that always took me back was like the actual design of the Fortress of Solitude itself, and how it's like a bunch of crystalline spires pointing diagonally and interlocking at the top. So this basically fortress door area, I've expanded to kind of look upon that, where all the really, really interesting stuff is back this way. And you'll find more Kryptonian lore from both, you know, comics and movies waiting for us behind these doors.
Nice. Casper says in chat, sorry I can't play with you. I'm playing another game right now. No worries, Casper. We're just hanging out here with Vanguard Superman, taking a look through his base. So you're welcome to join in just watching this time. We've been every once in a while doing a little bit of playing with some folks that are in chat. It's kind of fun, especially Casper. He's my bro.
Cool. And at another point, if I may, I'll probably elaborate on the whole changing between the Crimson Superman and the Vanguard Superman.
Oh, yeah, man. Definitely.
There might be some questions.
Yep, and you can definitely feel free to tell us about your league, plug your league, all that good stuff.
Sure thing. All right, so moving on.
Oh, I like how I get to walk through it like that. Damn, son.
I tried to make it expand to where like this becomes a bit of an inner sanctum.
Yeah.
Now, like I said back in the comic books when DC Rebirth did its thing, again, I designed this more so to be more like the pre-Flashpoint Superman's base, where everything was personally made rather than just homegrown for him.
Yeah.
So at best, you could say this is my inner sanctum area. You'll notice a Mobius chair, and anyone who knows DC lore knows who's supposed to be sitting on that. But frankly, I think it looks better in here anyway.
Yeah. That is tight.
I've tried to make good use of the screens as much as possible to monitor, you know, anything and everything in the playful event of a threat.
Oh yeah, I like how you've got the consoles out here like they're part of the base computer. That's tight.
Yes, it's kind of like a Kryptonian Who Watches the Watchmen feel to it.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, as far as how I design things where things get integrated into each other, again, that's something how I've tried to sneak those in. I don't know if you have your HUD up, but I took mine down. But if you walk over here, this device is just a simple Kryptonian console. However, on approach, it should start blinking for you. And this is actually my broker system.
Oh, no. That's tight.
Yes, sir.
Holy crap. Yeah.
All right, so this is it for this particular inner sanctum. We're going to move out this
Yeah,
way.
it is blinking. That looks so sweet. Damn.
My mailbox right over here does the exact same thing.
Oh, nice.
Now, if you look up at the ceiling in this area that we're in, the ceiling is completely covered in sunstone crystals that were provided to us in a DLC within the last year, I believe so. And from that, I decided to take, you know, heart of, like, you know, the idea it is kind of sustained within a, you know, icy crystalline mountain fortress, so it'd be proper to have it, and I have fans up there for design of like breathability and such.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And if you look over here, there's a kind of a mural to the BVS movie of Batman vs Superman. I tried making the most of it, you know, considering it came out when it did. And
that's tight.
There's a little, I'm sorry. And this, of course, is the, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Orrery of Worlds. If anyone has seen this knows the Final Crisis book. This is the idea of what holds the 52 known universes in DC's lore. So yeah, it's kind of a fun little item.
That's beautiful.
If you remember from the Superman 2 movie that was done by not Richard Donner, but the other gentleman that took over the theatrical cut. There's kind of a lunar lander, if you kind of remember stuff like there.
Yeah, that's tight.
Thank God, you know, there's no Zod or Non chasing after it. So we're gonna
Thank God.
Upstairs for laugh. Yeah, seriously.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
We're gonna save upstairs for laugh because that's where the stuff I'm most proud of is at. So we're gonna go down this way.
I see. I like the placement of the. I don't even know what those are called. The that look like whiteboards almost, but what are those, Kryptonian plaques or something like that? I don't want to take the camera too high. Right here, this thingy.
Oh, those, yes. All right, yeah. Those were referred to as I want to say like Kryptonian wall dividers.
I think you're right.
But I saw someone actually do something of the kind with them, where they made them into like a a banister railing, or a balcony railing, I should say. And I thought, that'd be a perfect thing for me to do. As you know, anyone in this game often will replicate something they see in another person's base, but
Yeah.
then they put their own spin on it and makes it either better or for worse. And that's one thing that me and my friends in our league, the Elite Legends, we're notorious about doing, is if we see something that looks good, we might try to replicate it, and we often try to one-up each other. And it's all in good fun. It's almost more flattery than anything. But
Oh, cool.
yeah,
We just got a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
I get excited when people start sending messages. We got a tell in game. William Batson. He says, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you I enjoy your content, and I'm one of the people watching your live stream. Huge fan and supporter." Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, and I hope you're enjoying the show. I don't know, tour. Would we call it a tour? Tour. I get made fun of for the way I say that word a lot.
DC Cribs.
There we go.
DC
Yeah,
Cribs.
I was gonna do. It's kind of funny that you say that. I had an idea, and I was gonna do. I wanted to do it like MTV Cribs and call it DCUO Cribs. And I had this idea when I first started doing YouTube stuff, but I did not have the ability to really do anything worthwhile. At that point, our internet was just so shabby that most of the stream you wouldn't be able to see, and it was just completely horrible. And so actually other YouTubers started doing that, and so we've got like 3 other YouTubers right now that are tossing back and forth DCUO Cribs. So that's why I thought I'd call this Pimpin' Your Base or something like that, and try to not rip myself off after getting ripped off. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But
Totally understandable.
yeah.
Try to create creativity while still making it your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's
go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, we're going to save the upstairs area for last, and we're going to go
Nice.
downstairs first. Down here is a multitude of memorabilia. Much like you said, how my guys and I are notorious for creating things out of nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like I think the term you might call a hodgepodge, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Just kind of create something where it actually looks good upon effect. Right here you could call basically my armory. And right there's another placard you're looking at that, if I'm right, says militia. So it makes sense,
Yep.
have your weapons and such down here.
Nice. You got your ammo over here.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of machine guns. Is that what those are? Looks like it.
More contraband than anything.
Yeah. This is tight. Hot damn. I don't know if I've seen that yet.
That is the Ergrund weapons rack, which was also another third world relic made available to us during the Halls of Power DLC. I think this one had to be earned through a set of briefings.
Ah, gotcha. It looks like you've got one of your member gifts up here for what the.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that?
I think that was the 4th year.
Ah.
Yeah.
Back when they started doing really super cool stuff like that. That was.
Yeah, remember the first year they gave us a cape. The second year they gave us a cake and a firework.
Yeah.
The third year they gave us a small portrait, and then the 4th year I think they gave us this, one small portrait, one big portrait.
Yeah, because League Halls had just come out at that time, I think, or something like that.
And it's funny you mentioned League Halls because my league and I, when we first started, we always liked the idea of having a league hall. And for a time I was writing a story based on the events of this game. And for anyone who's played this game, on the villain side, there's a spot in there where you eventually have to go and rescue Sinestro from the Justice Society of America, which eventually means you have to go and raid their safe house, the Brownstone, I believe it's referred to. Well, inside that particular building, the interior is just beautiful. I mean, I thought it looked just phenomenally well done. And then, of course, after you defeat all of the enemies, you have to go through this giant blast door where you actually see the inner sanctum of the Justice Society, and the building structure is kind of like what you see before here, like metallics and metals and all kinds of other different shades of coloring. And you have to fend off Alan Scott before saving Sinestro. So in the story that I was writing, I made it rigged up to where our team, the Elites, needed a base, and because that place had been left abandoned, that's what we took over, and we referred to it as the Elite Citadel. And when the game first gave us a lair system, I was trying to be very, very diplomatic. Well, maybe that's not the best word I'm searching for. At any rate, my base wasn't exactly specifically made after me. This actually was the original Citadel.
Oh, okay.
And, I had it set up as best I could to actually be a bit of a safe house for all players. But then eventually the League Hall became available, and then I was like, well, now I can actually own something for myself.
Nice. Yeah, Android did that for us. I think for when I first joined the league, he had 4 bases that were all different variations of something for the league. So Zutterly's Gaming says, can I have a rest in peace for my baby brother? He died yesterday. He is 3. Yeah, rest in peace for your baby brother, man. Moment of silence. Much love for you, brother. Sorry to hear that. I see, what's going on over here with this? What do you got hiding in this container?
Well, something that many Kryptonians are not very fond of being nearby. The vault itself is lined with lead and then completely cryo-sealed, and hence that ominous mist is actually more of a frozen thing going on there. It's actually another one of those fun creations where you just make something out of nothing. I think it's referred to as a single gear locker, and if you actually hit it, instead of finding kryptonite, you're going to find this steaming cauldron back here. But I was able to clip one on top of the other to make it have a unique feel to it.
That's cool. It looks like somebody might be cooking some kind of kryptonite meth in there or something. I don't know. It's green.
It's just melted. It's just melted, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna liquid. They're making kryptonite bullets out of it.
Seriously.
No, for Zod. Gotta have a backup plan.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that's basically what Jesse Eisenberg was wanting, a deterrent.
Yeah.
Creepy booger.
Yeah. Probably the creepiest Lex Luthor.
Yeah, see, a lot of people gave that movie a lot of flack because of its casting. Eventually, I grew to like Eisenberg's Luthor because I keep saying this. It's almost like a self-defense mechanism. I say, he reminds me of the spoiled rich kid that we all went to school with who basically talked down to everybody and knew nobody could touch him.
Yeah.
Because if we did, then suddenly his parents, you know, get to own new property.
Exactly.
So that's basically what that Luthor reminds me of.
And I'm still not sure if he's and I'm sure he's just Lex, but part of that made me think he might be Alexander. But
actually no. The extended version of the film actually goes into discussion that his father named the company after him, so it would make
gotcha.
Making little ladies writing checks to the company have a better feel to it. In that sense, I think, in fact, that Lex is actually Lex Luthor, and the father, who is mean and abusive, was indeed the notorious Lionel Luthor.
Nice. I like that. I'm kind of that same camp. I didn't necessarily like the movie at first, but as I watched it over and over and over again, I grew to at least a little bit more. And one of the things that I kind of came to the realization was, you know, if they just stuck to the exact same characters every time, it's probably just going to be boring to a lot of people. So, you know, everybody has their own little different version now. That's and I thought about the fact that if you're a director or you're a writer, you don't want to just remake the same movie everybody else has made, you know.
No.
So.
But at the same time, you can definitely take heavy references from such.
Yeah.
For anyone who's actually taken the time to read the Earth 1 sagas, Superman Earth 1 Volume 1 was actually written, I think, around 2008, 2009, and then Man of Steel was released in 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, if you actually read the book and then go back and watch the film, there is an extreme amount of sharing of ideas being taken from the book, such as the gravity weapon used by the World Engine.
Oh, right.
The discovery of the lineage, just a multitude of things. So it is there. The invasion force happening in Metropolis, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, and Goyer wrote some Superman books at some point, I thought, too, so it's not like he's a complete dunce on the subject. But anyway, Golden Vids says, sup. What's up, Golden Vids? How you doing? Everybody's...
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, me too, man. That's the way I live my dream every other day, just whether anybody's watching or not. So, ooh, look over here.
Yes, we can move on now. This particular spot you see here, I guess you could refer to as a minor infirmary. In fact, there's a Kryptonian glyph up there. I believe it says medical.
Nice.
But yeah, kind of keep that there, you know, for any type of injury that is sustained, you know. And then back this way is basically the laboratory, as you'll see the glyph.
Oh, hello.
Kryptonian soldier says tech.
Is that yeah? Is that kryptonite safe? Are we're good?
It's glass lead line enforced.
Oh, nice. So I got in trouble. I got in trouble earlier today. I was playing as I've got a Wally West tune, Wally West JLA, and I like to say flash type things when I'm in instances. Some dude got pissed at me about it, and I was like, hey, I just kept going. Whatever.
Well, I mean, you know, this is a game. You might as well accept the fact that you're cosplaying just without the costume at home.
Exactly.
Or do we?
Whoa. That's
so anyway,
tight.
venturing back this way is basically the laboratory of and the technical side of my particular fortress. I do believe at the turn of the year they released a Starro event, and that provided a multitude of numerous items for like alien artifacts for looking and studying here, a glass case Starro here, so on and so forth, and just different things. And this, of course, is like the power core of the fortress itself.
That's phenomenal. You got your crystal tubed up back there. How did you do that?
Just clipping, lots of clipping.
Whew.
There's also a blueprint for a Kryptonian warsuit hanging on that wall over there.
Oh, nice.
Now, anyone who plays the game, they're going to be sitting there going, he is just not even telling what these items are. Well, I would, but then we'd
You can't give away the trade secrets. Yeah.
I mean, we'd be here for 3 or 4 hours having to discuss every single item that came out. I just like the idea of clipping things together, and it makes it so much nicer. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't, I mean, that's not how it looks.
No.
They clip in a botany lab station and clip it into this metal steel cabinets to make it look impressive.
And the precision is amazing, because I try my best to put items together, and I always end up seeing certain aspects of the items that I didn't want to see. And man, you've done a really good job of making that look natural.
My league mates like to tease me that I'm a stickler for details. They've sometimes given me access to their layers, so if I see something that seems like it's not just perfectly flushed up, I'll tweak it a little bit. And I was like, oh, there goes Vanguard playing with my
That's cool, though.
Those guys.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, you do have a really fun league.
Oh, yeah. We try. I will admit, I do kind of miss the glory days back when everything first started.
Oh, look at this.
Well,
The globe's hovering.
This table and this thing on the wall here, this was released, I think, at the very end of last year, where we had the anti-monitor event, and these were Starlab exobyte screens that we're able to collect on. Now, that floating globe back there is actually referred to as a model of Mogo.
Yeah.
So you can't really see it, but if you actually were to venture around this side and pan the camera, you'd see the Green Lantern core.
I do see it under there.
The wall.
Yeah.
But
that's
if you face
tight.
it in a certain way, it kind of replicates a look for Earth, and that's where it counts.
We'll go. Yeah. Well, actually, can't really see the green. It's hidden pretty good. I can see the base underneath just a little bit, but the Green Lantern part is really. That's cool. That's what threw me off about it, because I was like, I don't see that band. Hot damn.
The magic of clipping.
Yeah.
And speaking of clipping, I got something real special over here. So I would warn not to get close, but
whoa.
I think it's pretty self-descriptive.
Holy love. I don't want to go into that.
Welcome to my Phantom Zone portal.
That is sweet. Holy crap.
Now what you're looking at is a multitude of items that were placed together to create this particular doorway, and I had help with my league mates giving me ideas and putting things in locations. In fact, we have one very much like it up in our actual league hall, the Citadel, and what's so fun about that one is that one's actually able to be stationed where it's not against a wall. You can actually walk around this thing and still see the entry point. And behind you, sealed behind this glass casing, is the Phantom Zone projector. So that's basically what sends you in there.
Oh.
Now, I'm sure anyone who's looking at this is like going, okay, I have to know how this was made.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell the gentleman's name that taught me this trick, and I'm going to feel so bad not remembering. But in this game, around the time another Green Lantern DLC became available, they had these things referred to as these mist containers, and these containers had like different names: Crimson, Azure, Emerald, so on and so forth. You basically get, red, green, blue, etc., etc. Well, if you take specific mist tubes and place them in one spot, the colors blend, and then you get this kind of a reverse spectrum deal, like reverse Dark Side of the Moon album cover.
Yeah.
Where white light is actually replacing what actually is like multiple colors. And that's what you're seeing there, is I placed a multitude of tubes on one spot, and it just creates a blinding white doorway. Now here's a funny thing. You may not be able to see it that well, but at the base of it, I put something hidden in the sunstone flooring. So if you were to walk up on this thing, you actually step up.
Oh, it looks like you're going to go right into it.
Exactly. Without that thing on the floor, this close you can see it's I think it's referred to as a medium magic rune circle.
Oh, yep. Just barely see it under
Because
there.
it's there, you can actually step on it, and it actually allows you to step up into this thing. Without it being there, you can't actually step up into it.
Wow, that's tight. I'm going to see if I can take the camera back to the opposite side of it. This is what it looks like looking out of the Phantom Zone at us. Yeah. You don't ever want to be on that side of it. That's cool. And then, what's the tentacle? Is that the, shoot.
Yes, oh heavens, I wish I remember the name of it. But yes, the black energy tendril.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes. I think I have two of them there swirling on one spot, so it kind of gives that ominous feel to it, where like, things reaching out to grab you to pull you in.
Yeah. There's some phantoms back there just hanging out, waiting.
Yep. Don't want to go back there. The worst are there, not just Kryptonian.
Batista might jump out of that son of a gun. We don't need that.
Guardians of the Galaxy? Never heard
Yeah.
of him. Is that a rock band?
I think so. Well, didn't he play one of the escapees on Smallville at some point? Maybe it wasn't him. I don't remember. There was some wrestler that was on there.
All right. Before we go any further,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna have to play devil's advocate on this one. I know Smallville was a good season, or not good season, but a good series.
Yeah.
But because it really tweaked with the Superman lore,
Oh, yeah.
I just really could not bring myself to get into it. I wish I had, not taken it for what it was and actually looked at it from a more broader view now that I'm older.
Yeah, I got lucky
Sure.
because I was just at that when Smallville first started coming out. I was just getting out of my like heavy metal phase and going and just starting to love comics. And so up until a certain point, it was like, yeah, I loved Superman. I grew up with him, but I was probably more of a Batman or Wolverine fan before at that point, and then Smallville kind of set me back on that path. So I got to watch it and not have the problem of trying to marry everything to the comics at the time. Then later, I went and back and jumped into that, and so then I was like, oh, now I understand what everybody was complaining about on the forums. But yeah.
Well, see, I grew up on like the Richard Donner era, Christopher Reeve style Superman films. And
Oh, yeah.
My biggest, dislike for that particular Smallville series was that there he was wearing T-shirt and jeans and whatever else he was wearing, having these phenomenal adventures going up against these iconic characters, and he hadn't even donned the suit yet. I'm sitting there going, that's just not the Superman I know and love, but it is what it is. But
Yeah,
the funny in itself is like one of my friends. His character name on this game is Terry Wayne. He is a big advocate for the Smallville series. He loves it front and back. And it's funny because ever since Fox came out with the Gotham show, which is basically like a prequel chain of events that led up to the creation of Batman,
Yeah.
he is utterly distasting this series.
Oh,
And
no,
I have
that
to
is
say
funny,
that 'cause
kind of.
Because he's a big Batman fan. I mean, he loves Batman and he loves Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But like I think he's a bigger Batman fan. So there he is, detesting the series. Anytime he complains about it, I'm sitting there going, "Welcome to my Smallville."
Yeah, that is kind of funny though that you wouldn't necessarily expect that. We were we were of the boat of like depended on the year that you were watching, but started out every Thursday at 8, and I think it moved to Fridays for the last season or 2 seasons. Our world stopped at our household. We watched every episode as it aired. We would go and get the seasons at midnight when they came out and just rewatch them and watch them over and over and over again. And so we pretty much lived that show while it was on air. But now with all the DCTV stuff that's out, it's like dreams are coming true around this place. Every night of the week we've got something to do, and
I feel like a kid again. But the funny is, like, I never thought in my life I'd be entering my 30s, going, okay, I have to rush home on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I can sit there and watch Batman, or Supergirl, Flash, Legends, Arrow.
Yeah, I got made fun of. I'd be at work and my workmates would be like, it's Friday night, hey man, you want to go out to the bar? And I'd be like, well, it's the last season of Smallville, man. This is only going to happen once in my life. A bar can happen any night. They're like, you are such a dork. Yeah, but I enjoy my life. So
you should.
But it looks like we got some eatery happening back here. Ooh, I see ham.
Yes. Yes. This area is actually my private living space. Go figure, I had to park it behind the Phantom Zone here.
Yeah.
I wasn't really thinking that one through, but whatever. But yes, this area is my private quarters within the fortress.
Oh.
Just about anything Superman related, you'll definitely find that he has kind of the same setup. Sometimes it's just a simple wooden frame mattress and, you know, like a dresser drawer with clothing in it. And sometimes it's more elaborate, but I decided to make this a little bit more interesting and make the most of the spacing down here.
That's cool.
So as you'll see, I've got, you know, fireplace. I've got the TV that's just kind of cycling through anything flash related. Giant
Nice.
speakers in front of the, I'm sorry, on both sides of the fireplace. I've got my writing and desk area back here.
You've got full toiletries.
Right, yeah, and it cost a pretty penny to get there.
Not bad.
I mean, everything you see in my base is a culmination of playing off and on for over 6 years. So I definitely put my money's worth. As of right now, I know DCUO is doing this thing where they're allowing all players free access to all the missions. The only thing that irks me is I'm on freemium. I'm not subscribed, and okay, I have access to almost all the missions, but I'm still limited to having $2,000 escrow.
Yeah.
My character under legendary status is sitting on over $50 million.
Cheesy Pete's. That's what I was going to ask you before we ended this, was how many millions do you think you've got invested in this base? I'm going in your bathroom. Sorry, man. I should have asked first, but I wash my hands and all that good stuff. Whoa, I guess I've never seen this toilet because the toilet paper is actually hanging there. That's cool.
That was referred to, I think, as the luxury toilet. They have the standard toilet, but the thing looks like something out of a truck stop restroom where it has the toilet paper's on the floor. It's hideous. I've been chasing that particular toilet down for a bathroom for a long, long time, and I finally got lucky. But
nice.
Yeah, once again, things kind of clipped within stuff, you know, desk area back here. Here's another little fun one for you.
Oh.
It's a cabinet, but then I've got the aquarium set inside.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
And then you can see kind of an icy rock behind it, you know.
Yeah.
A little fun there.
That's tight.
I remember during the micro DLCs that they were doing last month, they did something in regarding to Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins.
Yeah.
And in doing so, I managed to make the best of this Namda Parbat. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, you are.
Bed. So there's the bed.
That's where the magic happens when Lois comes over.
No, look, I'll just say this: I'm phenomenal in bed. I can say undisturbed.
Champion.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like yesterday I had a few friends down here, like, you know, just goofing off at my fortress. And there's Terry with us. He's just sitting there going, "This bed is bouncy."
Very nice.
Yeah, we have
that
fun.
is.
But, yeah.
You got books over here. This is also League of Assassins stuff, or?
Just a multitude of things. One thing that they'll tell you that you want to keep around if you ever own a fortress is like a repair station and soda station.
Oh yeah.
I try to make the most out of everything where it looks appropriate, but I couldn't find a good spot to put this. I mean, look at this thing. It is huge.
It is huge.
You know what? I can leave it right there. I'm not going to worry about trying to hide that because you really can't hide that behind everything. Not the way I did everything here.
Yeah, it's that thing's just so bulky and awkward, but it looks good there. I mean, it works.
It fits.
It's kind of like you would think it was, I don't know, like some kind of air tank supply or generator for your fish tank. Maybe it keeps the fish alive. I don't know.
Whatever makes it work.
Is this where the worms go that you feed the fish? And the soda cola?
That's where I keep my soda colas.
Oh, nice. Gotta have a cool soda cola.
They come out of this machine, but then I put them over in this one. You know, I have that vintage feel.
Yeah.
It also functions as a piggy bank. You know how many quarters are in there?
Do I have to guess?
Well,
do I win something?
Besides,
oh.
I think Harvey Dent's coin found its way in there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it does have a coin slot, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Hot damn.
Actually, you know what? No, I don't think that's a coin slot. I think back in like the 50s and 60s when they had these things, that's
the opener.
Bottle opener.
Yeah.
I think that's bottle opener because that's, you know, old-fashioned soda bottles were all glass with that metallic cap.
Yeah, pull it out, pop the top.
And
you're good to go.
Any man that had enough calluses on his fingers and sometimes able to pop those things off without the use of anything else.
Yeah. That's always impressive. Or their teeth.
Oh no, or use of the belt buckle.
Yeah.
Using the clip of the seatbelt to do it for him.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm from
I'm
the
glad we
South. I
don't.
know all kinds of tricks.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't live in that time anymore. God, you have to be a freaking engineer to get your soda.
Are you kidding? Nowadays, some people can't even pop the top on a Pepsi can.
Yeah.
Wait, product pending. I shouldn't use that word.
Yeah.
A
Cola.
Pep soda. A
Pep soda.
A Pep soda. Pep soda. You know, got that ER at the end of it.
Yeah. I like the trash can. That's cool.
I wish they'd give something a little bit more homely than that. I mean, that's just an ugly metal trash can.
Kinda, yeah.
It's about the only thing I could work with. Now, it's funny because they actually have these giant dumpsters that they have available for us in the in-game broker and such.
Yeah.
I think it'd be just too horrendous to have down here. I gotta have something with a little bit of class.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird to have a dumpster. That's more of, seems like more something that would be in a league hall or something, maybe a dive base.
Probably.
Be like, I live on a pallet with my dumpster next to it.
Well, I mean, I've seen layers that. I'm sorry, I keep moving my mic because, like I said, this thing's actually tied around my head.
Yeah.
Since it's kind of.
I would love for you to send a photo, to tweet a photo or something out of that, because that's got to be cute. That's.
It's a shoestring that's looped into the earpiece, and the shoestring is going over my head and being tied under my chin, like. like some sort of like poncho with a hood. I'm sitting there just going, I'm cutting off circulation to my jaw, but I'm trying to remain professional.
That's why. That's every once in a while you'll get silent because you're kind of getting loopy. So what you're telling us is that you're as good at clipping things together in real life as you are in the game. You're very inventive.
Oh, heaven forbid. If anyone knew half the stuff I've jerry-rigged around my house, I mean. In my family, we get it honest. My father, without giving into too much detail, he's a master tech. The gentleman can do almost anything. Well, I don't want to say almost. I'm trying to be humble. He can do anything to a car. So he knows how to make cars run long enough to get them to where they need to be before proper service can be applied. So
Gotcha.
I've learned a few things and forgotten more things that I've learned, and I'm still trying to learn.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is the downstairs area. That's pretty much all there is to it. Little fan-based things here, you know, Batman vs Superman posters, the light that changes colors, the bed, hanging plant light, the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. But as
oh my! I didn't even look up there. That's awesome.
But as I keep promising, the thing that I'm probably proud of most is the upstairs loft area.
Yes.
That particular location has gone through a multitude of revamps and recreations. At one point, it was, you know, an area of honor for, you know, things Kryptonian. At one point, it was actually the living space like this, just much more cramped. It has gone through all kinds of renovations, but I finally was able to make the most of it. So, after creating the Phantom Zone, I went back and redid that, and it came out just perfect. And I swear on my life, I hope I never, ever, 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 ever have to redo my base in any form or fashion.
Yeah, that would suck.
If I ever accidentally relocate my base and it makes everything go back to zero, I'm sitting there going, I'm not playing this game ever again.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's already hard enough coming back with the stats revamp. I mean, I get it, and it was a good idea for BCO to bring everyone at an equal playing field again. But I didn't like the idea of saying that, okay, I've worked so hard to get where I'm at strength-wise and level-wise, and then I go back and chase down a Bizarro bounty, and it's taking forever to kill him when it should have just been a two-shot deal. I hit him.
Yeah. See, I heard about that. I didn't. I haven't not experienced it yet myself. Although I did go into. It was kind of funny. I went into. I think it was the Wayne Manor Gala duo today. I was like 100. I'm 167 DPS with Earth DPS with that tune, and I'm with a 196 healer, and we could.
167 skill points?
No, CR. He's only got like 100 and some skill points. So, but we could not get past the first boss with a 196 healer.
I had that exact same problem, and I feel bad about this. I keep name dropping. I'm going to talk about other members of my crew when I can. But same gentleman, Terry Wayne, when the stats revamp came out and I first hopped on, I had to redo everything. Well, I didn't do my homework as I should have. And I went in with him, and we did the Wayne Manor Gala, and we got just slaughtered. It was like having a glass jaw all over again.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
like that. So unfortunately, I will admit I raged quit and kind of made a jerk of myself. But I was able to come back, do my homework, try it again. I went with another league mate, a character in our league named Exo Batman, formerly Exo Hero. But we just call him Exo for short. But he and I went through it, and I redid my stats, redid my loadout, had a bit better luck, tried a few other missions, and since that day, I've also taken a little bit of time to hunt around YouTube and the forums, whatever I can find to make myself stronger.
Yeah.
And another friend of mine named Superman CE, which is Calvin Ellis, I think he's a Superman of Earth 26, if you know
nice.
your stuff correctly.
Yeah.
It's either 23 or 26. Well, anyways, that particular Superman is designed off of President Barack Obama. So, yeah, he helped me as far as where to put my stats and a proper loadout, so on and so forth. So I've got all kinds of friends in this game, and I'm very glad that they're able to help out when they can, where they can, as far as, where they need to know things.
Yeah.
And then helping me improve and vice versa. Because as of right now, the league itself, it's got its core members from like back when we first started playing, but as anyone knows with online gaming, it's something that I got a hard lesson in. Life happens, and actually people aren't able to, stay on the game as much as they can. I remember when the game first came out, we were so dedicated to making sure we got things done certain ways, not in the sense that there was a hierarchical system to our league. It was just that everyone was on an equal playing field, same kind of gear, same kind of skill points. And so whenever raid night rolled around, we knew exactly what we had to do, what missions we were going to try to finish, and then the rest of the week doing the four-mans on a daily basis. So I mean, we knew what we were doing. In fact, we lost one of our league mates rather recently. It was very upsetting and unexpected. A gentleman named Wingman Kess also, and we had paid our respects to him as best we can. We have a memorial site up in our league hall referred to as the Elite Memorial. You were there that night when we had the services for him. But yeah,
it was a very, very nice service.
I tried. But anyway, so now that we've done down here, and I keep promising upstairs, let's go upstairs.
All right. Let's get to the creme de la creme.
Oh, yes. And speaking of creme, I think afterward then I'll discuss the name change.
Oh, right on.
I'll try to make it quick because I can tend to just keep talking.
Oh,
so anyone who's a fan of the Richard Donner movie series might probably take a big awe-inspiring to this.
Wow.
One particular night, I went on YouTube and did some hunting as far as like just looking how people did their bases. I was really seeing how people did their different Fortress of Solitudes. I came across one where this guy had actually lined up some sort of tubing where he could walk on it on the downstairs area that would eventually lead to the Cosmic Treadmill that we got in the Flash DLC. But it was clipped in so well that it looked like something you could just stand on and interact with, and on the walls were nothing but the TVs. So it looked really, really well done. I said, you know what, I've really got to put my brain to this and create something of the kind. So I ended up doing what I can to clip as much as I can into itself, and here we have, at best, the Sunstone Matrix, where if you want to play, along with the character, I can easily just walk up here and interact with my Sunstone tech.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I remember when I first saw this,
there's probably only enough space for like one or two people before it gets cramped. And if you're welcome to try to get up, well, let me again, see if I can see. I cramped it up.
No, that's cool, man.
Hop over there, give it a shot.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So yeah, don't let it confuse you into thinking that it's like some sort of like a judge desk, and down here is the bailiff and defendant. No, for anyone that was a fan of like the Richard Donner Superman, and even how they did it with the Bryan Singer Superman Returns film, they had the Sunstone consoles where they interacted with the Sunstone crystals.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I can't pull it off. I wanted to, but I figured this particular Kryptonian floor seal could actually be the holographic projector that creates an image of someone that I'd wish to communicate with if interacting with the Sunstones. For anyone that's played Fortress of Solitude 2 Power Core on DCUO, there's a spot after finishing the second boss, the corrupted Jor-El AI, where this giant holographic head just starts floating in the air and will talk to, Kal-El and Lex Luthor and General Zod. So I said, you know what, I need to do something of the kind, so here it is.
That is phenomenal. And look, your suit back here encased.
Yeah, okay, I have to admit, that one kind of got thrown together in a way. When I originally was trying to do the whole idea of like using the sunstones to interact with stuff, as you've known in later years, it wasn't that they had holographs. They actually had it where the holograph would be pictured inside the crystalline. And so, like Jor-El or anybody would be standing inside a crystal structure and would talk. So that's actually my former tank gear, and I haven't taken the time to revamp it. But I used to have this design very much in your Fallen God outfit, white on white with black emblem, and it looked kind of like the way they did in the Superman 2 film, where the character would be floating there wearing that particular suit, and just pretend to interact with whatever, just for fun. But the funny thing is, if I actually crack this Joker open, I'm not really wanting to do that, but get this. If you get a close enough look to it, you can step up to it if you want before it actually resets over.
Yeah.
That is my best attempt at trying to recreate the story mode version of Superman's costume
That's
in the
tight.
most recently released Injustice 2 game.
Oh, nice.
As you can see, there's actually a chin strap area, shoulder guards, the works. I tried my hardest to make it look that way, but
that looks awesome.
Creativity is, excessively limited.
Yeah. But you did what you could, and it looks sweet. What's this all glowing right up here? All these sparklies.
Well, that's actually a natural trait that the armories do. I think almost all armories have that, where it actually has that little ring going upward with the little bubbles.
Oh, yeah. I mean on the floor, though.
It does it by huh?
On the floor is what I'm talking about, though.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something else. This is actually kind of cool. I found this out the hard way. I kind of resented it at first, but then I grew to love it. Again, you can look above you and see all the sunstone crystals there.
Yeah.
In the roof.
Yep.
Well, what happens is, and I don't know if this is a game error, I actually will want to say this, is that when you put those up there, it creates a shadowing effect on the floor.
Oh, gotcha.
And, if you actually put these here, you could actually go one floor below where like where my computers and stuff are.
Yeah.
And they actually are in a darker atmosphere. If I took away the ceiling, then it would actually prevent the shadow effect, and it would be a much brighter atmosphere. So what happened is when DCO did some of its, imagery revamping, it decided to put a little bit of a glossy shine on stuff. Now this is supposed to be kind of like how it looks over here if you'll step where I'm at right now. It has a bit of a kind of a nice glossy finish, but still more like crystalline rock. But you come over here, and the floor has the shadow effect to it, and then it just sparkles.
That's awesome.
I don't like the word sparkle, but it's
but it's the only thing it's really all you can say, but it's a manly sparkle. Jeffrey Lane in chat says, is there any way I can join your league again? My tune is Superman 78. Yes, sir. In fact, as we were talking, I tried to send you a league invite, and it told me you're offline. So, but yeah, when next time I see you on, I will invite you. When we have also, isn't Red got a 1978 Superman?
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep tweaking my mic a little bit. Yes, he's another gentleman that I'd befriend. It's funny because I think I bounced into you and your league leader at the time. What was that guy's name?
Android Superman 42.
Thank you.
Yep.
I bounced into you guys at a period when my league was primarily offline, and I was still playing for the most part, and that's how I think everything snowballed, is where we got friends as far as league to league. So yeah, it was a blessing because I actually enjoy from time to time coming into your league hall, the Kryptonian Terra Colony.
Oh, right.
It's actually very well done. I like that particular throne room where it has all the sunstone spires and the crystals and such.
Yeah.
Very well done, and I get my enjoys out of that.
That's all Android. Android is, in fact, that's what led me to you at first. Was I believe he sent me a message in game and was like, "Man, I got a friend. You got to come see his base." and it was before this had been done, I think. And I think I came over and was just in awe at the base, and that was, at that time, I think I was fairly new to interacting with people in an online game, and just standing in the same room with Android, I would just stand there for like an hour. We would just look at each other and not say anything, and I was like, he's our league leader.
Yes, I too have to confess, this is my very first online video game where I actually was able to interact with other players. For the most part, I call myself a gamer, but I guess I really can't say I am one. to an extent. I've always been so used to self-reliance in video games. So when the time
Oh
came that I
yeah.
was playing this, it became an issue of, I've got to be able to work and play with others. And I met good people, I met bad people, and it was a live and learn experience. You mentioned if I wanted to plug my league, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
very grateful you gave that option. My league is the Elite Legends. We've been around since the creation of the game. What happened with us was I kept interacting with different players in different leagues, and a multitude of them were in the same league. I'm not going to drop names because, there were some,
Yeah.
memories. But the short version was their league leader wasn't exactly one of the best individuals playing this game. He was notorious for creating a pyramid system amongst his teammates. The lowest level
Ah.
characters would actually constantly run low level content and find items that he could sell in the broker and make a profit on.
Oh.
And he was kind of pretty dirty to those characters. And if
Yeah.
anyone did wrong in his league, he'd dog them out and all kinds of such. But in talking with my friends, there was Terry Wayne, there was Exo Hero, or I'm sorry, Exo Batman, as I should say. There are other characters like Phenomenal Girl, Master Kia, Dragma, Captain Battle, Deadly Hex, Pyro Girl, a number of people, Sonic Meltdown, Ragnarok Roller. We were all friends, but we weren't really, teamed up or anything. So we started talking and started discussing about making our own league, and one of the key things that we kept saying, there were probably going to be 3 primary rules to it. On paper, I'm league leader, very much like Android was. I think he promoted you before he quit playing. Was that right?
Yeah, he did, and I'm kind of, I would say a steward more so than anything else. It's always going to be Android's league, but for the time being, I'm in charge, I guess.
Right.
So.
But as I stated, on paper, my character or myself is team leader. But at the time, we said that, and we still believe in this, that there'd be no real sense of leadership. That it'd be a democracy. The player that had like the best idea is basically what we would go do and run with.
Yeah.
And so like I said, when the game was still new, we basically were doing everything and anything. And it was just like, well, have we run this yet? No. Well, let's go do that. All right, raid night. Have we ran Kandak, Inner, Outer? Any of those? No, not yet? Okay, well, let's go do that. So it made that easy. Another one of the rules was we didn't want to have any players that were like jerks or just obnoxious players, the kind of people that come in and use the league for their benefits but not contribute, or they were rude to other players. We didn't want anything to do with those kind of guys because we've interacted with them before. And then the final one was, have fun with it. So I mean, like, if you want to come in and just dress up in some weird costume to, mess with your friends on this game, by all means, go ahead and do it. Just don't do it in excess, otherwise you'll upset them. And we've lived by that coat of arms as best we could since the game's inception. But yes, it was very nice getting to know those guys. You have to forgive me if you hear me moving my headset around. I'm trying to get this thing to stay on my head, and this shoelace is coming undone.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. I'm getting
thing.
the wrap it up light here in the Var household, so we'll go into an overview. You wanted to talk about the name change, and
Right. Okay, I'll make that quick. And man, an hour went by fast.
it does, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? It's like when you had,
when you have a good time,
that's true.
All right, so the name change. We kept joking eventually that DC would provide a name change. I mean, they gave us power changes and such, movement mode changes. Why not a name change? So ever since games in general, came along where you could create a player, I often had a thing for creating a character that represented me as myself, as a human being, for fun, and then I kind of created a Superman-inspired character. So years back, I was a fan of the Japanese anime Full Metal Alchemist. If anyone that knows that particular series, anyone who is an alchemist works for the military of the state, and they get a code name, the such and such alchemist, the this and that alchemist. Well, there was a guy in there named the Crimson Alchemist, and I don't know why, but that name stuck with me, and I ran with it. So for the longest, my character in any of those things was Crimson Superman. And amongst my friends and league mates, they'll still call me Crim or Crimson or CS, and it's fine. But rather recently, my friend Terry Wayne said he wanted to write a book that was superhero-oriented, but without, worrying about copyright and such, he wanted to create it in his own universe. And he asked me to come up with a character name for myself, and whatever powers, I could, do what I want to call, Kryptonian, but give it different names. Kind of like the same way, like characters like Icon and Hyperion and Sentry exist in Marvel and Image Comics, respectively. They're all Superman analogs. We know that.
Right.
They just, they just changed the image. So I went hunting, and I forget how I came across the name Vanguard, but it really stuck with me. It came out really, really good. So I hunted in both Marvel, I hunted in both DC. I couldn't find anyone where they had the name Vanguard. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of the Crimson gimmick. I mean, don't get me wrong, Crimson was a fun name, but at the same time, it just wasn't fitting anymore. So I was like, you know what? Vanguard. And so I still wanted to keep the Superman feel to it, so I just mushed the names together, and here I are.
Nice. Well, I like it, man. I like what you've done, and you got the Superman. That's a V in your SIP.
Where at?
Is it SVPER?
Yes. That again comes back to the issue about the copywriting of names.
Yeah.
Once again, Superman itself was taken, and I didn't like the idea of mushing the words together like I did with Crimson Superman.
Yeah.
So I wrote it Vanguard Superman, but replaced the U with a V, and it works. I mean, you
it
get
does.
the idea.
It's a very smooth way to do it.
If you can sit there, and like use the letter E or A or something, or the letter 4 to look like an A and get away with something, by all means, have at it. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it looks very smooth, and I like it a lot. So, man, thank you so much for joining the stream and letting us go through your base. If you want to at any point, I would love to come and go through your league hall. I'm sure that that'd be a fun.
By all means, it's I don't want to call it a work in progress, but there's always room for improvement. And with any league hall, the more stuff comes out and the more players you have, or the more players that are still active finding things, it makes it fun. I myself, like I said, I'm not legendary. I'm not subscribed. I'm freemium.
Right.
So at some point in the near future, I plan on resubscribing, maybe long enough to run about and get some new items for myself and for the league. Matter of fact, today I lucked out and collected enough fragments to crack open a time capsule, and I lucked into the Green Knight Alan Scott Kingdom Come chest piece, which
nice.
is mint in the broker, but I said, nope, I need that. So if you were to do a gear check on me, like the glory days of DC,
yeah,
you'd see me wearing, the Green Knight armor. So yeah, I kind of got that hidden on under here. And speaking of armors, I'll make this real quick.
Yeah.
Like I said, my base actually has its secrets, and one of my other bigger secrets is right back here.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Nice.
At the time, I was wanting to put my tank armor right here just the same, but
yeah,
these are my 4 armories. The one that has no light-ups whatsoever is my fun Kryptonian loadout. The one to the far right has a more serious Earthbound DPS loadout, and the one to the far left just incorporates a supercharge, and at best it has a fun little effect to it. So yeah, whenever I go like this and change up,
nice. Whoa, hello.
I like the idea that like the character suddenly becomes luminescent in the veins and in the hands and the extremities. So
yeah,
I ran with it.
You got that nice glow in your forehead there. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's the Hades crown. I figured, why not just stick a butane lighter to my forehead?
Yeah, well, it seems like it would be something like a fortress crystal or something that's powering you up. Maybe, I don't know.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, next chance we get, whenever possible, you're more than welcome to come tour the Citadel, take a look at it. If more of my league mates are on, Terry, Exo,
oh yeah,
honorary league mates, Sonic, Raggy, whoever else might be still floating around out there that was playing, that's still playing now but have joined other leagues. If we get the band together long enough and have a little bit of fun, by all means, it'd be great, and I'd be very honored. I'm very honored that we were able to do this, and I thank you for that.
Hey, no problem, man. It's been awesome having you. Do you have any specifications as far as if anybody is watching this and they want to get in touch with you about joining the league? Just send you a tell, shoot you an email.
I think the best thing is, and I don't know if you've got your heads-up display where you can actually see my name running
yeah.
all times. Because I'm still freemium, it says premium, but we call it freemium as a joke. I kind of pop in sporadically because I'm still grinding away on the Injustice 2 video game. There's certain gears that I'm trying to unlock there to make myself happy. Not to plug another game, but today they recently did an update within the last 24 hours. And on the Superman character, they now have a Bizarro shader or a Bizarro skin. So that's kind of fun. They actually did do it where the character looks different and the power interaction is different. So instead of heat vision, he has ice vision.
Oh, right on.
Breath instead of ice breath, etc., etc. So those are kind of unique tweaks. I'm still grinding away on there. So I still have my fun with that, but I'm coming back and popping my head in here more often. Like I said, if I actually come back and resubscribe, I'm going to be on here a bit more often, you know, doing the usual routine. My friends are coming back. They're getting resubscribed. They're doing the stuff. They came back for the stab revamp. They're getting adjusted. I'm getting adjusted, and yeah, it's become an experience. So as far as contacting me, if anyone does, and God bless you if you do, best thing to do is use the in-game mail system. Vanguard Superman spelled with a V. I'm sorry, I know it's kind of tricky, but yes, just shoot me an email and just, you know, send me a message, however way you wish to say it. You know, if you want membership in, I can talk it over with my friends, the other founding fathers, as we like to call ourselves, with the big three that are still left over, the Trinity.
Nice.
And see what we can pull off. Once we get our schedules aligned, it'll help out. Back when we first started, and I know you got to go, all of us were basically night owls, where we had like afternoon into evening jobs, and we didn't have to go into work the next morning until like maybe 11, 12 in the afternoon. So we were able to stay up later into the night and play as we wish. Well, now I've got a job where I'm having to be at work at either 7:30, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Ouch.
And not getting off until about 4, 5, and 6 in the afternoon. And so, like I said,
that makes it hard.
Lifestyles change, and so does the availability of the online game. But it does, one of the bigger perks is, like, with the change of the job, it freed up my weekends, where I'm almost off weekends pretty much 90% of the year. So
that's cool.
We still got that working for us, and it comes in the long run. And yes, I'm a very big advocate of league-to-league interactions on a friendship level. I like being able to go into the Kryptonian Gladiators lairs and meet up with them, chit-chat, and play. It's a load of fun. And it is, it is a learning experience once you get a chance to interact with people. I will say this, you did say positive words. One of my first experiences, like I said, I was a total noob at this game. One of my worst experiences was I queued in to go into the outer raid, the outer Batcave. First time I went in there, I didn't have a microphone. I didn't know anything about the game. I didn't know nothing I was doing. And mind you, when this game first came out, you had to pay to play. I mean, you had to. You had to buy the disc. You had to buy the subscription. You had to.
Yeah.
And my first experience in there was these guys. They knew what they were doing. I didn't. I was like, come on, guys, give me a shot. Let me prove myself. They pretty much bullied me out of there. And had I not actually found a league to join at that time, I was grateful for them. I think the Boondock Saints was the league. And I found them. I probably would have quit playing altogether. I really would have. But
that was a very similar experience to what we had. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let anything defer you from actually wanting to play this game and enjoy it. It's all about finding the right people. They're good people. They're bad. It's just a matter of finding who's who.
That is exactly right. There are just, you know, you think that you might have a day where you just run into a bunch of people that are a-holes. The next day, you know, for us anyway, standing out at Little Bohemia, just meeting the nicest people that we've ever met in our lives. So it definitely.
Little Bohemia is the biggest hangout spot in this game. Anybody knows that?
Yep, absolutely.
That's the big one. You want to go out there and cosplay and show off, you go out to Little Bohemia, and you're guaranteed to get some interesting looks.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, man, for joining us. We're going to wrap things up. Awesome Gamer 12 came on, said, "What's up?" What's up, buddy? If you're coming on at the end of the stream, you can catch this up on YouTube. It'll be there in about an hour. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give it a like and share once it's up there. And we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging with us. We will see you again. Let's see, not tomorrow, but Wednesday, about the same time. So thanks for joining. For Vanguard Superman, Lyda and Bodie, this is Rock Var saying, "Play on."
Have a good night.